This video is going to focus on why Leeds United give up so many chances. Hello, Ross here from English for Football. So why do Leeds United give up so many chances to the opposition? First, let's look at the setup and strategy of Marcelo Bielsa's team. So they press high from the off, using 4 at the back, and the full-backs push high. Phillips does a lot of the covering, and Klich gets up and down the pitch. Bielsa's teams press from the off as this is the intensity he demands throughout. Dallas is tucked in high. If Leeds win the ball, the fullbacks need to be ready to attack. The defensive structure. So Leeds play a typical back four, but they like their fullbacks to push high and support the attack. The cover comes from Phillips, and he steps in to make a back three when the fullbacks push on with the ball. So Klich does not cover Dallas. Phillips covers both sides. Many players commit to the attack, and there's space for the opposition. We are going to pay attention to the defensive partnership between Klich and Dallas, the support and the cover. There's no cover, and as soon as Klich releases the pass, he sprints into an advanced position. You can see Dallas off screen. There's no cover. Because Klich advanced, he has left a great amount of space for West Ham. This is made worse because Dallas is required to get forward. There's no one picking up the players when they lose the ball. You can see here they play high. So when Alioski is wide with the ball, Dallas tucks in and Klich is instructed to join the attack. Phillips stays in front of the back two, covering. Because Klich joins the attack, no player covers this side. If they lose the ball, West Ham know this and double up ready for the counter. So they double up the press and it's an opportunity. The risk is that the ball is lost and the opposition have players in positions to get in behind. In this case, Fornals is in, but Leeds defend it. It's a risky strategy. Haller has a bad touch and Leeds are able to get advantage and score. It's a risky strategy that means your chances of scoring and concede increase at the same time. So full-back support. For Dallas to be really effective, he needs support from Klich in construction and defence. In this case, Klich does not drop in, so no cover. When Dallas pushes up, Klich joins the attack too. There is no cover if they lose the ball. The same strategy applies to the left as well. So Alioski and Harrison bomb forward, Phillips carries the ball and Klich tucks inside. But that leads to risks. Because the fullback and all centre midfielders bomb forward, one mistake and Leeds are exposed. They have 6 players supporting the attack. So Leeds commit too many players to these attacks, and with one pass, West Ham can get a runner goal, isolated in 1v1s. This allows West Ham to isolate the Leeds defenders with 1v1s. The Leeds defenders are not strong enough technically to deal with this, and West Ham can get into advantageous positions. Leeds may want to consider not committing so many players to the attack. Build-up play. So Leeds take risks, players push on, passes are harder to make, and the defenders are deeper. When building from the back, Leeds take too many risks. Phillips moves out wide so Alioski can bomb on, and Klich pushes forward. One mistake and West Ham have the central zone to break into, and West Ham have a situation to exploit. Tracking is also a problem, and it's made worse because players are not being tracked into the penalty area. You can see Rodrigo leaves his man. Screening. When Dallas and Klich both push forward, Phillips screens the defence. He comes to the right this time. But when Phillips comes to the right, that means there is space on the left because the fullbacks are always advancing. There's pockets of space. Defending set pieces is a major problem for Bielsa's team. They use mixed marking, zonal mark the front post, man mark elsewhere, and the opposition can use diversions. Mixed marking. So Leeds mostly use man-to-man marking, but Bamford marks the zone on the edge of the 6-yard area. West Ham will use this to their advantage. The man-to-man marking, Alioski and Phillips man-mark the 2 attackers in the centre. These players are of similar height. Dallas and Cooper are Leeds' most physical imposing defenders, so they go tight to West Ham's bigger threats. The objective is to stop them getting a jump in space. Leeds put too much focus on the front post. Because the two central runners move across, the Leeds defenders leave space at the back as they follow Rice and Valbuena. They follow the diversion. And because the West Ham attackers moved to the front post and Leeds have a player zonal marking this space is created around the back. Souček moves early to take advantage of it. Ogbonna holds his run to help create the space, but it is also prepared for the second run if the cross is behind. Ogbonna has space to run into and generate power. Souček has control and space to gain a free header. The diversion at the front post created this space. And solutions. Souček isolated Dallas because he's not strong enough. Leeds could switch Ayling for Dallas to give more resolve. Leeds could switch to zonal marking. This would stop teams from having space to run into for the jumps. Instead of zonally marking the front post, Bamford could go to the back and Harrison could drop back into this area. Then they would zonally mark the most dangerous areas in the area. Technical defending. So Leeds are not so good at technical defending. They make poor decisions. Players are not passing men on and players get drawn to the ball easily. Because Ayling is better aerially, Phillips sits in the defensive line, but this causes problems. Phillips and Cooper are both attracted to Heller, but they don't engage him. This creates space for Benrahma to run across, but Dallas does not pass him on to Cooper. Defensive organisation. Phillips drops into the defensive line and Dallas tucks inside. Phillips gets dragged across by following Benrahma and Dallas gets attracted to the ball. Because Dallas and Phillips make mistakes, they are exposed at the back. The defence make too many technical mistakes because they are more tactically instructed and they make technical errors. Bowen goes towards the thrower and Dallas follows him. This creates space behind for Bowen to get in behind. He's dragged out to create space. Dallas needed to be goal side and not give Bowen the space. Leeds also allow Heller to make a move across them in front of Cooper. Cooper is not set positionally. His feet are off the ground and he needs to be prepared to attack the ball and deny the space for Heller. The Leeds defenders are too passive and don't aggressively defend the ball. Cooper should be attacking the ball, but he lets Heller get across him. There's space to attack. There's also a drop-off of intensity with Bielsa's teams. The intensity drops after 60 minutes. Players lack energy to get back and they overcommit on attacks, as well as leaving space to attack. From around the 60 to 70th minute, Leeds visibly drop in intensity. They move the ball around slower. Because of the amount of running, midfielders are slower to create angles for passes. You can see they're not in position to receive. The lower intensity equals mistakes, and they are forced into bad decisions and poor passes. The drop in intensity also leads to being slower to the second balls and loose passes. Bigger gaps appear as the game becomes stretched. The Leeds midfielders have to get up and down. When a counter breaks down, they lack the energy to get back into shape quick enough. Because Leeds press the ball to get it back, they have many players around the ball, and that leaves space in other areas. There's no cover, and it then becomes easier to get into danger areas. West Ham can play into the danger areas. Here they're lacking in energy in getting up and down. They're on the back foot again. Leeds commit 5 players forward to a counter-attack, and again they are overstretched, and it leads to attack versus defence. There is no protection in front of the defence because Leeds push too many forward. West Ham don't need to counter with 4 or 5 attackers because they have more energy getting stretched. Again, 1 or 2 passes and West Ham have another opportunity with space to counter. West Ham can get closer to goal with space to score. Leeds are overstretched. They may consider managing games better and reducing the press in periods. Leeds once again use mixed marking to defend the corner, zonal marking the front post and man marking the back. West Ham have 2 attackers attack the front post, again as a diversion to create space. So they're making the diversion. Leeds have 4 defenders at the front post now. They are taken out of the play because 2 West Ham defenders cause a diversion by running across. they're distracted and they isolate defenders. Ogbonna and Souček are able to isolate the defenders at the back and have a 1v1 challenge should the ball come there. Ogbonna held his run again. Because the ball is a bit behind, he can adjust. The Leeds defenders can't get close. They can't adjust and defend it. West Ham are trying to isolate Haller with a Leeds centre-back because of his strength. Leeds are not strong enough aerially, and this causes more problems. And this is the second goal. Leeds use man-to-man marking, again with one player in place to cut the cross out if it's low. The West Ham players attack the front. This takes the Leeds defenders with them. Ogbonna hangs back and runs around the back. Because the other attackers diverted, it gave Ogbonna space to run and jump. It was harder for the Leeds defenders to defend this cross because Ogbonna has the space. If Leeds used zonal marking, they would be able to put defenders in these spaces, ready to attack the ball, and would not be diverted. So, does Bielsa need to adapt his approach? Should he try zonal marking, or should he reduce the press intensity? It's clear that Leeds are conceding too many chances and too many goals. What can they do? Please remember to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.